You can change your color and blade profile on the fly using gestures and button combinations. Let's have a look at some of the options. Right, how to select your color and blade profiles on the fly. So, you can use two combinations of a button press and a gesture to select your color profile or a blade profile on the fly. And you can select either the main button press and auxiliary button press at the same time, or you can do an auxiliary button press and twist at the same time. And you can twist forward or twist backward. Now, you can configure which combination does what by setting the spectrum mode parameter, and that's part of the main configuration. This has several options, and each option will provide you with a combination. So you can switch what the main and act button press does and what the auxiliary button and twist combination does. There are several options. The first one is the legacy browsing. So you will always move one profile forward or backward. So this is legacy. You've got the spectrum dial, in which you can either rotate or change the angle to select a profile. So as you can see right here, I've got it configured right now to angle. I can also switch the setting, and now it will respond to twist. So if you see that your angle isn't responding correctly, or your twist isn't responding correctly, like I did in the beginning, and I'm twisting and it doesn't respond, and maybe all of a sudden it will skip several profiles and give the rapid clicking, try changing the spectrum axis parameter, which is also part of the main configuration. So if I now set this to twist, you can see it's very sensitive and I don't have to twist a lot. Or when I change it again and set it to angle, it's very sensitive. So if you have a feeling that it's not responding correctly, try changing the spectrum axis. So this is the spectrum dial. It will move forward and backward to the next color profile or the next profile. Then we also have the Kyber dial. So if I now select the Kyber dial option, it will move. I've got it set to twist again. It will move through 360 different colors, including white, by twist. And the Kyber dial is a special option because it will only temporarily affect your blade color. So if I set this to blue right now,
wasting your time. I have a bad feeling about this.
So it will remain blue until I do a power cycle. So if I place the saber in deep sleep mode, which you can actually force by pressing and holding the auxiliary button while the blade is not ignited.
Sound bank selection.
So it will first go into the sound bank selection, the vocal menu. Just keep it pressed.
Deep sleep mode engaged.
Then it will go into deep sleep. Now, if I restart the saber, the original color, which is green, has been restored, so none of my color profiles have actually been changed. So using these combinations, which you can set using the spectrum mode, you can personalize which of these combinations of pressing the button, both buttons, or pressing the auxiliary and twist works best for you. So what's good to know is if you're using the spectrum mode, so let's set it to spectrum dial. If I now set it into a spectrum dial, so now I can I've set it to angle. Now I can select a different color. But if I now press main button and keep it pressed,
Blade profiles.
it will go into blade profile selection. So now I can select a different blade profile. So this is one of the main advantages of using the spectrum mode. If you do first the color selection and you keep the main button pressed, or you press the main button and keep it pressed, then you can go into a blade profile selection. So this is actually one of my favorites. Setting it to spectrum dial, so I'll be able to change the color and also be able to change the blade profile if I need it. These are the options that there are. It's the spectrum mode in the main configuration and the spectrum axis also in the main configuration. There are about, I think, 9 combinations possible. So just try them out and see what works for you. Enjoy!